All right. All right. To everyone, thank you for coming around today. Um, my name is Shola Ibusi for Business and Tech Transformation Academy, BATA. And we started a journey already in our data analysis, and we want to do something different today. So let me share my screen with you quickly so that we can then see what we want to do today. All right. So today we want to do what I call staff payroll. All right, staff payroll. That's what we want to do. I use that opportunity to learn one or two things. Okay. So a staff payroll, that's what we want to do today. So I've got some names here, all right, and I've got their hourly wage, how much, they are paid every hour, and then I've got the hours they worked each week. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and open another sheet. This is the resource sheet. I'll open another sheet. Okay. Open another sheet and just work on that. Okay. So let's then come here. So let's name this sheet and call it staff payroll. Okay, staff payroll. So let's get the names first. The names of these people, of the staff, the member of staff, we copy it and then bring it here. All right. Let's stretch it. Okay, and we then have the hourly wage. Okay, so the hourly wage, let's also copy that and then come over here. So hourly wage, all right. Then let's try to get the hours worked for the first week. For the first week, hourly, the hours worked, okay? So, all right, let's try and put this here. Hourly wage, let's put it here, okay? So, and let's try and now, hourly wage, let's put it at dollars, okay? You can decide to use any currency if you like, depending on the country you're working with or for. So you can come here and say more accounting items. So you can click here and you have different kinds of currencies, okay? Different kinds of currencies, all right? So, and you can have as many, of course, Naira and all of that is also there. So you can go for anyone, the pounds, the dollar, anyone. So for now, we're going for the dollar, okay? Going for the dollar. So here, let's have May 1st, all right? May 1st, okay, as the first day of the week. Now, you are going to have pay here, the pay for that particular week, okay? Now, if you look at it, if you want to get the pay for this particular week, starting from 1st of May, your formula, like I told you yesterday, if you want to start a formula, you say equals to, so equals this, the hourly wage, all right, times the number of hours worked, okay? That will give you um, the, okay, so that will give you the the pay for that particular week. Okay, the first week. So usually you're supposed to work 8 hours per day. 8 hours times 5 days, making 40 hours. So, but guess what? This person worked 41 hours. That means there's overtime. All right. So let's try to calculate the overtime. Now, overtime hours. Overtime hours. All right. And if there's overtime hours, definitely there will be overtime bonus. All right. So let's take it one after the other. Overtime hours. You can see the hours hiding here. So what I will do is I will Control A and I'll come to format, and then I'll come to auto fit column width. Okay. And then click on it so that every hidden thing can come out. All right. So overtime hours. Overtime hours will be what? Equals this number of hours, the total hours worked minus 40, which is the normal hours to be worked in a week. So you have 1 because this is 41. All right, so let's stretch down the formula. All right. So here, okay, but don't worry, we can do it together. Let's stretch down the formula and see what it gives us. All right, so look at something here that, of course, will draw your attention. Look at -1, -11, -1. Okay, of course, you'll be wondering why minus. The reason is because this guy worked 39 hours, less than 40. Now, there's no penalty for you not working up to 40 hours. All right, just that you will not get overtime bonus. Okay, so we need to do something about this minus. All right, so we need to write a formula. So before that, let's stretch down this one so that we can calculate the pay for others too. All right. Okay, so when you see this sign, this hash sign, it means that the number there cannot contain that space. So you just double click so that you can expand it, and then it would fill up. Okay, so what can we do to this? We need to generate a formula to correct all these minus. So you come here, you say equals, you use if formula. So listen to this very well. If formula. So you type if. All right, you click the first one, double click. So you must put a logical test here, a logical test. So the logical test could be that let's say this 41, all right? If what you have here is greater than, let's use greater than now, greater than 40, okay? If this number is greater than 40, comma, what should happen will be the next thing. So for if statement, you put a logical test. So a logical test could be about equals to, less than, greater than. Those are logical tests. So if the hours worked is greater than 40, then you will say these hours worked minus 40. That's a true value. Now the first value will be 0, meaning that anytime the hours worked is not up to 40, then you just return 0 automatically, no matter what that number is. So it means that for 39, that is not up to 40, okay? Instead of saying -1, you just say 0. That means no overtime hours. Instead of -11, you just say 0. Instead of -1, you just say 0. That's the meaning of this formula. Okay, let me explain the formula again. So we use what we call if statement. Okay, if statement in this kind of case. So you type your if, and then you put your logical test. Okay, so you say if this is less than, is greater than 40, okay, is greater than 40, then the true value, what should be done? If it's greater than 40, what should be done is this minus 40. That means 40 will not be, I mean, that number minus 40 will give a positive number. If that is not the case, then you return 0. You close your bracket, enter. Okay, you drag your formula down. There you go. So those places where you have minus, minus, it was replaced by 0. Okay, so if you work 39 hours, instead of say -1, to just give it 0. All right, because I mean, it's not a crime if you didn't do overtime hours. So how about the overtime bonus? So in this company, there's a rule. The rule is that you'll be paid half of your uh half of your hourly wage times the number of overtime. So what do I mean by that? So I'll say equals um equals the hours of overtime times half of 0.5 of your hourly wage. Okay, let me say that again. In this company, your overtime bonus will be your hours of overtime times half of your hourly wage, which is 0.5 times 15.90, 0.5 times C5, okay? Enter. It gave you this value, so you can stretch it down for others, and there you go. So you will notice that, you know, those with nothing are the ones having 0. Okay, they did not do any overtime work, so they are not getting any overtime bonus. Okay, so how about the pay? The pay, let's say weekly pay. The pay for that week will be the normal pay, okay, which is this, all right, plus the overtime bonus. The normal pay, okay, don't forget, the normal pay plus the overtime bonus. And that gives you this. So you can stretch it down. You can stretch it down, and then you have that. So just double click this to expand it. There you go. Okay. So you have done the necessary things for week 1. Okay. But before we go to the other weeks, let's quickly do something. Let's do max. Let's do minimum. Let's do average, and let's do total. So what do we mean by this? Okay, what do we mean by this? So max, for this column, this column is about hourly wage. So who is earning the highest hourly wage? That's what we want to know here. So you say equals, you type max, you double click max, and then you highlight all of the wages that you want to compare. So you highlight it and you close your bracket, enter. So the person earning the highest is the person earning $45 per hour, which is, thank God, praise. Okay. Looks like there's one thank God in this class. My man, you know, you are the one earning the highest though. So how about the minimum? Equals min, M-I-N, and you can then highlight all this and then close your bracket, enter. So the guy earning the least is 6.90, 6.90 for sure, Male Gabriel. Okay. Then average, okay, average equals, you type average, and there are different kinds of average, but it is this particular one, okay? You highlight all the ones you want to compare, all right? You close your bracket, and then there you go. So on the average, a worker collects $16.48, okay? For that week, how much does the the total of the hourly wage in an hour, how much does the company pay? All right, that will be sum. Okay, that'll be sum because you are looking at total. So you highlight all the cells that you want to add up, you close your bracket, enter, and there you go. So it means that in an hour, the company is paying a total of $280 $24 to all the workers per hour. All right. So let's try to stretch this formula to the other side. Okay, let's stretch it down to the other side, and there you go. Okay, so there are some that need some space. Just double click. Now we need to check the data type. Okay, let's check the data type. So this should be in dollars. Now this should be in hours. This is in dollars. So let's change the data type to general or number. Okay, so there you go. 55, 29, 40, but you know, we don't need all these decimal. So you come here, reduce it, just click it until you have like just one. Okay, and you can say this. All right, there you go. All right, so this one is in dollars, fine. This overtime hours, so let's take it back. Let's take it back. And then we can take out this. All right, we are good. So this is in dollars, so this is fine. This is in dollars. Okay, this is fine. All right, good. So, but then this is just week 1. How about the other weeks? Okay, so let's try to create more columns. So I can come here, I click this, I right click and then say insert. It will insert 1 column. But I mean, as a sharp guy, I don't want to do that. I mean, Control Z. I would rather highlight about 4 columns. Since I need about 4 columns, right click. Sorry. Let me highlight 4 columns. All right. What I'm trying to say is that what I'm trying to tell Excel is that these 4 columns, I want you to insert it immediately after column D. Okay. So insert. Boom. He gave it to me. All right. Instead of doing it one by one. Okay. So let's try to then the second week now will be equals this plus 7. All right. 7 days make a week. The following week. Okay, that will be 8th of May. So let's stretch this formula here, and there you go. All right, beautiful, beautiful. So let's try to get the remaining hours worked for the month. Let's get it from here, and let's go copy it and paste here. Beautiful. So these are the remaining hours worked for each week of May. All right. Good. So if this is for week 1, which is copy this, okay, then we must calculate that of other weeks too. So let me copy 4 columns and then insert. All right, and so I would have equals this plus 7. Okay, and then I can stretch this and then have this. Beautiful. Okay. So let's do something here. So for this, hours worked. Okay, hours worked. So I'm going to take all these cells, all right, and then I'll say merge and center. I'll merge all the cells together and then bring hours worked to the center. Beautiful. Meaning that hours worked for all this, all right? I'll do that for pay too. And I will do this and then merge and center. All right, beautiful. So for this, can we stretch the formula? Let's try it and see whether it will work for us. Okay, sorry, I didn't stretch to the last one. All right, so let's validate our formula, okay, before we begin to rejoice. All right, so for this one, it's this hourly wage times this for this first week. That's beautiful. How about this one? Okay, look at this now. In fact, all these numbers are just too much. So look at what it did. It jumped. It then picked 41 and 42. All right. So meaning that there's a relative reference happening here. The first one was this and this. Okay. Then it jumped this and this. Then the next one will be this and this. That's relative referencing. We don't want relative referencing here. So in this case, this this hourly wage is a constant. Is a constant. So this one will have to multiply 42, all right, for week the second week, then 1590 times 39, 1590 times 30 times 46. So this particular column must be constant. Now, remember yesterday we did a relative referencing and absolute referencing. So let's do that again. So let's go back to our formula. So formula, so this particular column, column C, has to be constant. Now, for yesterday, the absolute referencing we did was just for a single number. So what did we do? We put the dollar sign in between, you know, the cell label. We did something like this, okay? But if we do something like this, you know what will happen? 1590 will be repeated all through, you know, the workers. Let me show you that. All right, so, and I will stretch it. I'll stretch it. Okay, so let's look at the formula again, sorry. Okay, so this one. All right, aha, so no. Okay, so if we stretch it down, all right, so let's test the formula. So imagine what is being multiplied here. Imagine this and this. Definitely that's not what we want. So let's go back. Just trying to validate uh, the formula. So this is what you do. You don't put the dollar sign there. You rather put the dollar sign before. So it means that it will take cognizance of this particular column, okay, each time. This particular column each time. So let's stretch this. Okay, you can see that it changed. Then let's stretch it down. All right, you can see that's changed. So let's validate it. So let's, for example, use this one. Good. So this hourly wage times 40, okay? Let's validate this one. Sorry. So let's validate this one. Okay, this hourly wage times this. Okay, so it will always pick this hourly wage every time. So that's our concern. All right, so I think that is done. So the columns are getting more and more. So let's find a way of distinguishing them. So we can color this, okay? Just color this, and you can color this. Just add some color. All right, good. So for the overtime hours, we need 4 columns for the other weeks. All right, let's do insert. Okay, and let's move this here. So we can do May 1st, all right, and then this plus 7, okay, and we can stretch it down to the right, okay. All right, so let's see if our formula can work here, relative referencing or so. Okay, there you go. So for this particular one, overtime hours, okay? So let's see what it's trying to do. Okay, we can't see the other hand. So let me show you what you can do. You can highlight what you want to see. Highlight what you want to see. Okay, highlight what you want to see. All right, and then go to view. Since you are not able to see, come to fit selection and then press OK. All right. Okay, that did not produce. So, all right. Okay, good. So zoom fit selection. Okay. All right. So now, so look at this one. This will be, no, the fit selection should make us see things at a glance. So we shouldn't stress ourselves if we do fit selection. All right. Mm. All right, good. So let's look at this. So it means that 42 minus 40, it gave us 2, okay? Then this one, 22nd May, it peaked 22nd, okay, good. Then this one, 29, it peaked 29th. The hours work for 29th, good. So that means the relative referencing worked, okay? So let's try to do this and then just stretch it down. There you go. Okay, beautiful. All right. So let's try to, we can color this also. We can color that. All right, good. Okay. So for overtime bonus, we would need about 4 columns too. So let's do that. 4 columns, and then we insert. Okay. All right. So let's take this out. And then let's put it here. Okay. May 1st, and then you can have equals this plus 7. There you go. And then you can stretch it. You can stretch it. Okay, beautiful. So let's see if relative referencing will work here perfectly. All right. So let's look at it. So this one, let's see if it will pick overtime bonus. That should be the number of hours, of overtime times half of the hourly wage. So let's check it. The number of hours for 22 overtime hours times the hourly wage for 22. Sorry, it did not pick the hour for 22. So that means our relative references did not work. Okay, so this hourly wage must be picked all the time, okay, for the overtime bonus. So we'll go back to our formula and we'll do something about it. So here, the overtime, the hourly wage, okay, we'll put the dollar sign in front of C. Column C is that of hourly wage, okay? And then we do our formula again. Let's stretch it down. Let's stretch it to the right. Okay, you can see it has changed now. So let's test it. This one now, 8th of May, all right? So the overtime hours for May 8th, good. And then the hourly wage, which will be a constant, beautiful. All right, so that means the formula has worked. So let's highlight this and then draw the formula down. Beautiful. All right, let's validate our formula. Let's see if it's working everywhere. So this one, so 15th of May, overtime hours, and then the hourly wage. Beautiful, good. That means the formula worked. Good, good, good. So let's try to color these two and see how far we can go with that. All right. Okay, good. All right. So what is next? The weekly pay. So we need to do the weekly pay for other weeks too. Okay. So let's do for, this is May. In case the session closes, just allow the recording to render. In 3 minutes, we can jump back. Okay. +7, and that gives you this and this. Okay, beautiful. So let's see if our formula can work. Relative referencing. Okay. Relative referencing should be able to work here. All right, so let's test this one. So weekly pay, all right, it will be the overtime bonus and the normal pay for week 8. So week 8, overtime bonus, and 8th of May, normal pay. Beautiful, beautiful. How about this? Double click. All right, 22. The overtime for 22, then the normal pay for 22. Beautiful, it worked. All right, good. So relative referencing worked there. So let's try and highlight this and draw our formula down. So if the session closes, just join back in 3 minutes so that the recording can finish rendering. Beautiful. So when we come back, we'll finish up with these ones, all right? So here now, we can stretch it to the other side, all right? Beautiful. And here, we can stretch it, okay, we can highlight and then stretch it to the other side. Good. All right. Let's create space and space.